As a judge who's retired now and presided over the domestic violence part of my court for many, many years, I was on the front lines and saw firsthand the devastation of domestic violence upon families. What people don't realize is domestic violence is not only physical. Domestic violence is psychological, financial, isolation, power and control. The difficulty is it cuts across all economic strata. For years, those in the higher income levels were afraid to come forth and talk about domestic violence for various reasons. This task force, thankfully to our leader, Brian Kolb, and our chairman, Mr. Angelo, is bringing out the need for us to truly address the issue. There has been discussions for years on domestic violence, but no one really pinpointing, bringing together stakeholders, victims, service providers to really present what is needed. Individual communities know one of the most difficult is placing victims of domestic violence in housing for their protection and for their children. Coming out of this report is the need for funding to fund these type of safe houses. Just about every city has a safe house, and most cab drivers know where to bring the individuals. They are secure, but there is not enough of them. Studies have shown that children, infants as young as 2 months old, who grow up in an environment of domestic violence will never attain their true potential. They will not develop psychologically, physically, and mentally. And as they grow older, they are more likely to be perpetrators of domestic violence. This study was very enlightening. In my district, we brought together representatives of the district attorney's office, the judge who took my place for domestic violence. We had police officers, we had stakeholders, we had individual not-for-profits, but we also had victims. And these victims spoke. And for the first time in their life, they were not afraid to speak. This report truly addresses what is needed for our state to go forward. Yes, it is an epidemic, and yes, it is a mental deficiency. It's all about power and control. When it is reported and it gets before a judge, our training is you need to take the power and control away from the perpetrator for the protection of the victim. So going forth, the presentations and the suggestions will be taken very seriously. I was proud yesterday to vote in the positive on an amendment to the type of crimes that can be considered domestic violence. Some of those included identity theft, financial hardship, and we need to expand. It's time to face the reality of what we have going on in this state, and we need to protect the victims. Thank you very much.